before I close, I did save maybe the best for last, because there's something else important I want to talk to you about. It's an announcement. It's a major change, and it's an example of what we can do when we come together. And I want to give Tom and EAA great credit on this, because as you know, we have all been struggling since 9/11. And as you know, because of the security threat, we put a special restricted zone of airspace around Washington, D.C. in the period since 9/11. The ADIZ, as it's affectionately known, the Air Defense Identification Zone, was put in place without opportunity for public comment. It had to be done quickly because it was a very rocky period following the attacks. But the FAA acted on the requirements of the security agencies and DoD. It was an imposition that had to be made. None of us here questions the need to protect our nation's capital and everything it stands for. To put the ADIZ in place on a permanent basis, it was important to ask for your comment. It was important to hold public hearings, and we did, and receive comment from all around. And believe me, we did. 20,000 of you spoke up. 20,000. That's got to be a record of some kind. And now, after a few years of working with Homeland Security and DoD, we've been able to reach an agreement that keeps D.C. safe and secure, and just as important, it gives you more freedom to operate in the skies around it. Effective August 30th, we're reducing the size and simplifying the shape of the ADIZ. It's the right thing to do, and it's the right time to do it. As you're going to see on this slide of the ADIZ, and I wanted to be sure everyone understood this because I know some of you fly very actively in the Washington area, and some of you don't, and some of you will only occasionally. But take a look at the ADIZ as it now exists. It's a pretty odd shape. It was our attempt to match the existing airspace. And, you know, we did the best we could because you've got the three major airports, Baltimore, Washington, Dulles, and of course right down there, Reagan National and the nation's capital, all of which had to be protected. Now, we're going to be making changes because what's affectionately known as Mickey Mouse here, and you see the mouse ears, Mickey's gonna change. It's now gonna be a clean circle, about 30 nautical miles in diameter, centered on DC. And I'll show you what that looks like, because I think it's going to be a lot easier to work with and to understand. We had quite a bit of confusion, as you know, and way too many violations with the previous version. So we're modifying the flight restricted zone, the freeze, which will be adjusted to accommodate the Dulles downwind and the GA corridor that's between Fort Meade and Gaithersburg. We did this because of your recommendations, the things you pointed out to us, and your comments. And in my view, that GA corridor previously was just too small for the volume of traffic that was moving through it. Now, this change also frees up 33 major GA airports, and it frees up 1,800 square miles of airspace. Yeah. And see that little dick in the corner? Guys, you know, a perfect circle's great, but we fought very hard for that nick because believe me, the FAA, we are your advocates in Washington, and that is the Leesburg Airport, which we have major GA in and out of. This new design will also formalize pattern work at select airports within the ADIZ, and it does improve access by adding 4 standalone air traffic control positions at the Potomac TRACON to provide you with better service. Lots of unfortunate violations occurred during the first version we had in place. But when you said simplify the design, we did. When you told us it would improve safety, we said, you know, you're right. And you told us at the same time not to reduce security. And we haven't, because frankly, this will also let air traffic control focus on the guys who really are causing a problem in this and pay attention with very active surveillance of air traffic control. So, score 1 for GA. Tom, you all, EAA, AOPA, Phil Boyer, these are all powerful voices on this, and I'll have to tell you, you were right on each count. The new ADIZ won't diminish security, it's safer, and it's one more example of the FAA, Homeland Security, DoD, and the GA community working together to do the right thing. So kudos to you. Now, I just want to wrap up by saying thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here all these years. You know, I watch the planes and the people with a huge amount of admiration. Dayton and Kitty Hawk have a rightful place to call themselves the birthplace of flight. But Oshkosh is where you find the heart and the soul of aviation. Thank you for letting me be a part of it.